Hi, this is Lois Beres at KZGN-TV, and today I have with me Jenny DeAngelis, and she's another one of our remarkable Ridgecrest ladies, and I'm so glad to have you with me.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so interesting to see all the things that this lady has done. Your main job at this time is working with DART.
Yes.
What is your title? What are you?
Okay, I am and have been for the last 10 years the Chief Executive Officer at Desert Area Resources and Training.
I was wondering, you know, you probably do all the other things too, but that's the main title. And you manage all of these different services.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is the variety of things that we offer. A lot of times people aren't aware of all the different aspects of DART.
That's one of the things that I was intrigued with when she was telling me about it. First of all, let's find out how long you've been in Ridgecrest. You've been here for a while, haven't you?
My husband and I moved here when we became fugitives of the B-1 bomber program. Back in 1977, President Carter canceled the B-1 bomber program. So he worked for Rockwell Engineering down in the Torrance area. And then we moved up here, and he started out working at Camarco and then has worked at the Navy base and is now actually retired from the Navy base.
Oh, that's great. So you've been here a while. Your kids were born here? Or?
Yeah. We have 3 adult children, adult sons and daughters. Our oldest daughter was born in Torrance right before we had come up here. So, but our two boys were both born here at Ridgecrest Hospital.
They went through all the schools?
All the schools. So did she.
All right.
She was only a year old when she came here, so
it's almost like me. I moved to New Mexico when I was 2, so I don't remember being anywhere else, and she wouldn't either.
No, they're definitely all 3 desert rats.
So you've done a lot with DART. You've probably started not at a CEO position.
No. I casually will mention to some of the staff, when I started out with the organization, I was a second case manager for employment. And I was making a whopping $6.10 an hour.
Much, right.
So, but that was 21.5 years ago.
It's not such a shabby deal for that.
No.
Right. I started at bank once. I think I was making $3 an hour, but that was as a receptionist.
Yeah,
so, but it's so interesting when you work up through the organization, and now you're leading it. You know a lot of the pains and sufferings that go through all of your staff and what they need.
Besides the staff, I've seen the development of the programs. From what it was when I first started, there was a large employment program and a very small children's program. And it had the business aspects of it with the thrift store at the time. But we had just started to get into contractual work with the federal government and the state. So, and we've had anniversaries just in the last year and a half of Caltrans rest area attendants for over 20 years, working with the Navy base at the commissary, so over 20 years now. So
we need to go into that a little bit, but you've got so many programs down there, but you are a major employer for this valley, and I think people need to know that, because it's not just one little corner like a thrift store. You've got so many other programs. Tell us a little bit about all the programs that you've got.
Well, you mentioned how many people we have employed.
Right.
And one of the myths that I'm always talking to people about, an awareness about our organization, is we employ between 60 and 80 individuals as staff or administrative personnel. So everything from the administrators to financial managers, case managers, teachers, aides, clerks, receptionists, bus drivers, attendants for the rest areas on the hours when the contracts are just the attendant basis. That just goes on and on. But there's between 60 and 80 staff, and then we employ full-time in our training program, again, about 60 to 80 adults.
We're talking close to 200 people then.
Yeah, and
in
addition to the work programs, we have our supported living program, which is a one-on-one support basis for individuals who live or want to live independently, live in their own homes and their own apartments. We also have our school for children, and that's one of my things that I like to talk about the most, because I like to brag on that school. The Therese M. Hall Children's Center, as it's known now, was named after Terry Hall, who is a past executive director of DART. And the school evolved from a little classroom, mommy and me kind of one-on-one therapy session group thing 20-some years ago to now.
And just a couple of rooms or something, wasn't it?
Just two little classrooms, maybe 10 by 15 feet.
And now you should see their school.
Now the school, the Teresa M. Hall Children's Center, is a model of curriculum and beautiful structure facility-wise for early childhood education.
And it's not just a handicapped program or anything like that, isn't it?
No, the school itself is a fully licensed, fully accredited school with the state of California and with CARF, which is the Commission for the Accreditation of Rehab Facilities. So it's fully accredited and licensed. The thing is that the school itself, even though it came from being a therapeutic program, is now a regular preschool.
So anybody could put their children there?
Yes. Anyone, any child can come to our school. And the school, we are in the final stages of getting the licensing done for our infant program. We have a fully licensed accredited toddler program, and then our preschool program. So about 40 children altogether at this time.
That's okay.
And it's 5 days a week, 7:30 in the morning till 4:30.
You can do a half day, you can do a full day.
Half days. Some children come just mornings. Some come a few days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or just afternoons. It's very flexible. But the school itself, the thing that's unusual about it is some people will describe all of our programs as being just for people with special needs.
Well, that's what I think a lot of people out there think, and it's not necessarily.
And the school is a prime example of a fully integrated program. Anyone's children, anyone in the community's children can attend our school. They just come in, pick up registration and enrollment information, and check on the fee structure. Fee structure for children who we call peer models, which are just children in the community, is very, very competitive. In fact, it's almost half of what any of the other preschool programs will charge.
Well, that's
so it's a very
good.
underutilized program for normative children.
Let's go into that in just a little bit. We're going to go to a break in a minute, and then we're going to go back in, I think, talk a little bit about the fees, because that's something that needs to get out there.
Well, and how others, yeah.
Exactly what they have to pay for. So what we're going to do is go to a break, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes, and then we'll continue talking about DART with Jenny DeAngelis.
Great. Thanks, Lois.
Thank you. We are back. You're back with Lois and Jenny, and we're talking about DART and some of the things that they can do. And we were at the point where we were talking about the fee schedule and the kids in your preschool. Let's continue where we were and go from there. And we can talk about the ratio of students to teachers and all of that.
Well, if a child does have special needs, then they are referred from DART to the Kern Regional Center, which is an excellent state collaborative organization which will determine if a child is eligible for the school if they have special needs. If the child is determined to have special needs and is funded through the state, then the parents of that child pay nothing for their education.
Do they do the testing here in town? Or?
The regional center does the eligibility testing, so that's all done.
I didn't know that was done here. Okay.
So, but for those children, they come in on that basis being paid by the state. And for other children, parents who want to just have their kids have an excellent model curriculum, educationally based, they can come in and, as I said before, get applications and come and tour the school.
It is beautiful from the outside. I'm going to have to come and look at the inside.
It's a great physical layout. The facility is pristine. All of the educational materials and things are all just beautiful. In my other life, before I moved to Ridgecrest, I actually taught kindergarten and preschool in the Torrance, Palos Verdes area. And I would have given my left foot to have a beautiful school like this.
Like you have here.
The inside and the outside are really, really nice. And We talked a little bit before the interview about the ratio, and I explained to you, Lois, normally when you go to a preschool, the ratio can be anywhere from 1 teacher to 8 or 10 or 12 or 15 children. Because we do have some children in the program, we have a 1 to 3 ratio.
That's remarkable.
So for every 3 children in the room, no matter if they are special needs or not, for every 3 children we have to meet the staffing ratio of 1 to 3. So there's an adult there. So if you have 3, there's 1. If you have 4, there's 2 adults in the room. And then if it goes to 6, you have still 2, but at 7 you have 3 adults in the room. And the teachers, the staff, the director, they all have to have all of their educational units and degrees, just like any other school, along with our licensing and accreditation.
They're all certified.
They're all certified
California teachers.
They're all. We have a lot of people that start out. They go up and take 12 or 16 units at Saracoso just to be classroom aides. We have individuals that help with the nutrition program at the school because we provide snacks and lunches and nap time and crafts and music and physical education and all the other things that go into a school. But
if somebody was interested in bringing their child there, could they make like an appointment and come see the school? Or
the school is always open for tour. You can contact me, or you can contact the director of the school. We also have one lady that's really critical to our organization. Her name is Chris Bridges. She is the chief of programs and services. And she loves to give tours and take people around, no matter what age, if it's with small children or if it's the parents or someone else that's interested in any of our other programs too. She'll take tours. I'll do tours.
Anywhere in all of your facilities.
Yeah.
Oh,
and people can contact us at the main office. We're right on Ridgecrest Boulevard at 201 East Ridgecrest Boulevard.
And you're in the phone book.
We're in the phone book.
And you also have a nifty web page. Can you tell them what?
Sure. The website's real easy to remember. It's dartontarget.org.
The other day I put .com, it didn't come up.
It won't come up. We're an org. We're a private nonprofit, so we're the .org.
It's great. It's a great website because you can see a lot of they have so many things that they do that the ordinary person like myself driving by would have no idea that they do all this. And some of that is going back to what we were talking about, employing people. Because you don't employ them just in your school or just in your store. There's lots of
drivers, there's maintenance people, there's retail sales people that run our store too. But I think I want to talk a little bit though about from the children into the next age.
Good idea.
The older children. In the summer, we offer day camp for children, and it's for mainly children with autism spectrum disorder, so autism. And this program has been going now for about 8 years, and it, again, is a program we offer for children at no cost.
An ongoing, like, several weeks, a month, how long?
We take registration, usually 15 to 20 children. And we have a younger age group and an older age group. The younger ones are about 5 and a half years old, up to about 10 or 11. And then the other group starts at about 11-ish to about 14 or 15. And it's regular day camp. They come and they do arts and crafts. They do field trips. They have outings in town. They have music and physical activities. We've had different themed camps. Last year was space camp.
Oh boy.
So we had kids making robot costumes with streamers and rockets and stuff. An element of day camp that's really important though is we have junior high and high school age students who are interested in working with children with either special needs or just children in general that come and work as one-on-one mentors with the campers. So every camper at day camp has a big brother or big sister that's there with them.
That's great because then the kids get the mentoring and the other children get the experience to see if they want to go into this sort of thing
And a critical element is that one of the main things we work on at day camp is communication skills. So they're working on language, manners, just relaying what you want using verbalization. They're using positive approaches for interaction for children that may have a little bit more need for that one-on-one concentration at time. So the parents just rave about the kids coming home from day camp with their day camp T-shirt on and their crafts and their things. And
is it most of the summer?
Well, day camp for the younger children is usually 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's in the mornings, and then we follow that up with a week for the older children. This year, the older children's camp was an activity-based, field trip-based camp. So they were out all over the community here, and they even took a field trip to the Comb Museum in Bakersfield. So, you know, it's just,
wow, that's
day camp
great.
is a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I want to go to day camp.
Yeah.
It sounds neat. We're going to go to a break again in a minute. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about your thrift store, some more of your contracts and the things that you've got
We'll go
out
into
there.
the adult programs.
And the adult programs. Guys, it goes awfully fast here. But we're going to be back in about 2 minutes, and we'll talk about the rest of this and see if we can't cram it all in there.
Great.
Thanks a lot. We'll be right back. We are back with Ginny and Lois, and we're talking about DART. We were talking about her daycare program, and we want to wrap that up a little bit and then go into some things and talk about your thrift store and some of the other things you do. We could talk about this for hours, but let's finish up with the daycare and then move on, okay?
Okay, well, day camp is the summer program for children with autism, and if people would like information again about this, they can go to our website at dartontarget.org, or they can call our main office, and the main exchange of all the numbers is the same telephone number for our school, our store, and the main office.
Oh,
so you can call the 760-375-9787, and then just listen for the prompts of which person you want to speak to. And we'll probably give them that number again later.
That's probably a good idea.
So day camp is one aspect of our programs that some people don't know about. The other is called Artists on the Edge, which is an art program for adults. It's open to individuals in this entire valley. They don't even have to be a funded person with our DART program. And they come in.
They can take part.
They can take part in the art program. We have an art mentor, Marcy Holbrook, who is a member of our staff, and she coordinates other art mentors who come in and do art lessons. And then they do sessions usually for 6 or 8 weeks.
Are those fee-based? Do
they pay a very small fee, but usually it's so minimal. It's just a few dollars.
What they use.
We get a lot of our materials and things all provided, but the fee may be something like $10 or something for the entire 8 weeks. It's very, very minimal.
That is good.
But
good.
they produce different types of art, from watercolors to ceramics to construction art to, depending on who the artist is that's coming in to be the mentor. Sure. And then they will have an art show called Artists on the Edge. We advertise them locally, and
I saw that in the paper. Then do they sell them?
They sell their art, and whatever the art that's been created, if it sells for something, then the money goes to the artist. It doesn't go to the program.
That's really good for them. So they have another impetus to do a really good job.
Right. Well, and they're artists. They're not just there to explore the medium, although that's part of it. They're there to actually create art. And some are very, very good.
I've seen some of it.
Some of the work is
excellent.
Really great. We've actually exhibited. They've got the tour that's coming up for the arts. No, the arts that are
the art. Oh,
the art.
Their home tours, or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
right.
We usually have an exhibit at our main office, but this year we're going to have our art exhibited with some of the other artists at a home. But we have the art there that's available for sale that was created by our artists. So
that's wonderful. And then you've got that huge thrift store, which I have gone down there and bought all sorts of really neat stuff.
Well, the thrift store. Thrift store has been part of the history of DART for many, many years. And if you've lived around this valley, you've seen it in many different locations. And it is one of our major identifiers. People know the thrift store. They say, oh, DART, the thrift store. But what the main purpose of the thrift store for us is not only to take in donations and sell items and run it as a retail store, but it is an employer. It's a major employer for not only the persons with special needs, but also our staff. You may walk in there and see people doing all kinds of different things, from cashier to stocking the store, taking in donations, processing donations, doing all this. You would not usually know which are the staff and which are the employees that are funded through the state.
I wouldn't have a clue.
And because
I've been down there.
It's almost like a little beehive of activity.
Busy.
And
always
everyone
busy
there takes a lot of ownership in all of the different jobs that are done within the store. We train real skills, so those skills could be done if individuals were to seek employment in the community in a retail environment.
They could be a cashier somewhere else. They could do shelving.
They could do shelving, stocking,
right.
all these other things. So
and then you've got the part where you take the old electronic stuff.
The e-waste collection. We're actually a California e-waste collector. So we do the collection. We don't recycle. We weigh and palletize the items, and then they are sold from us to a recycler.
I wondered how you did that.
Yeah, it's because we are just an e-waste collector.
Okay.
The other aspect of that is that we do document destruction. So confidential document destruction.
Yeah, I've used that. That's a good
And we have individuals who take in all of the items. If people need a letter of destruction about the items that they've brought in, we can provide that for them for their records.
Good.
If they want to do observed shred, where they actually come in and watch us destroy it.
Be sure that you shred it. They can stand and watch
They can stand there and watch us if they want to.
Anything
that's brought in to be shredded is put into a secure, locked facility in an area that is completely locked in, so that it's not just sitting out, no one can get into it.
So you can just take it down there and you can drive to the back, and then they'll come and take it out of you.
And they'll take it out and weigh the boxes. And the shred is calculated on weight.
That's how it's charged.
So and if you have a lot, like a whole storage locker full, or like other large companies in town here, they've had us come and just we'll get 600 or 700 boxes of shred to do at once. If they have a lot, then it's on quantity. The prices change on quantity. So
the last time I went down there, I had 2 huge bags, and I thought, my gosh, that's a lot. But the person behind me had a truckload. So it depends, I guess, on what you've got and what you're doing. So
back to the store a little bit. I do want to give. I'm giving you the scoop on this. Many people.
Is a scoop.
We are in the process of building our own brand new store. So we will not be in a renting situation any longer where we are. And we'll get more information about the location and everything else. The groundbreaking will actually be in November. So
that's exciting.
So you'll have to wait. That'll be another story for another time.
Okay.
But I do want to say just a few things about some of the other employment
possibilities. We're down to a little over a
we
minute,
have.
so you need to kind of wrap it up for me.
We have federal contracts with the Navy at the commissary. We have 5 Caltrans rest areas we maintain. And I also can't go without saying we have a large supported living program, which is teaching skills one-on-one with individuals that want to live independently. So
your people go out and help folks to live independently?
Yes. Do grocery shopping with them, medical appointments, budgeting, nutrition, but it's one-on-one based, and everyone doesn't get the same amount of time or focus. It's
well, they
on
may
the
not need
needs of
that
the
much,
person.
though.
No, they may not need that much.
Right.
But I feel like we've kind of scratched the surface about
we have.
DART,
We could talk so
I'll
much
probably
more
have to come
about
back.
it. Oh, you're going to have to come back, especially when we get down to that groundbreaking. We're going to have a picture of that. That'll be great. But you are a major employer here in town.
Yes.
You've got so many services that you can offer, and people go out and look at their webpage. It's www.dartontarget.org, or call Jenny or any of her staff at
760-375-9787.
Okay, I think we got it.
Great.
Thank you so much for
You're
being with
welcome.
us, and I expect you to have to come back. We need to go over this some more.
It's a date.
All right. Thanks
All right.
a lot. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for being with us.